when a woman's unspeakable thoughts
You cannot imagine the range of tortures and torturous treatment to which she was subjected.
are turned into horrific actions.
That sounds to me like a truly evil person.
Murder becomes a delight.
It made her feel good to inflict horrible pain.
These deadly women are aroused by sadistic acts. They get their pleasure from pain. London, England. In the 18th century, giving birth is a matter of life and death. The city's poor are lucky they have Elizabeth Brownrig to help them.
She was the official midwife to the poor in St. Dunstan.
She is highly respected for her work, but Elizabeth and her husband have a dark secret. The community trusts Elizabeth.
Hello, Mr. Jacobs, how are you?
The local church places orphans in her care.
Allow me to introduce your new apprentice, Miss Mary Mitchell.
Pleased to be your acquaintance, ma'am.
They placed children as apprentices in households where they would be put to work.
She looks a bit scrawny, doesn't
In the
she?
1760s, it's a way of giving unwanted children a second chance.
We'll see you on
A lot of
Saturday.
kids were treated very well. They became members of the family. They became their children. Then there were the unlucky ones.
Oh, you're prepared to work.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Starting in here.
Away from prying eyes, Elizabeth can't be trusted. She treats her young servants like slaves.
To keep house, to clean, cook, scrub, all the kind of Cinderella kind of things that you might imagine. Only in this case, there was no fairy godmother.
You're too slow. You have to leave it till tomorrow. Get up!
For Elizabeth's charges, the ordeal is never ending. They're starved and forced to sleep on the basement floor.
Knowing that their victim is starving in the basement, looking for crumbs, searching for water, turned her on, and she probably slept very well.
Worse still, Elizabeth takes pleasure from inflicting pain.
Here, love. Let me show you how it's done.
She turned them into occasions for her to get delight from torture.
She would beat them until her arms simply wouldn't hold the whip anymore.
In the Brownrigs' home, torturing the staff is a family affair.
Misery loves company, and Elizabeth wanted to share what was going on. She involved the two most important men in her life, her husband and her son, in her evil behavior.
John Brownrig is a weak man who was under the thumb of his wife. The son is a somewhat different matter. James and Elizabeth seem to have taken turns in disciplining the apprentices.
The girls were being starved. They were being denied proper clothing. She seemed to have had a hair trigger, so whenever they did anything wrong, they were beaten or hit. In one notable instance, Mary Mitchell is accused of eating a few chestnuts that are in the son's room. Such a thing was considered theft and had to be punished severely. After this incident, she's beaten terribly. In another situation, one of the girls answers back, and Mrs. Brownrig slices her tongue with a pair of scissors.
When she can't take any more, one girl runs away.
Mary Jones escaped and had been taken back by the Foundling Hospital. There was someone looking out for Mary Jones.
At the orphanage, she recounts her horror story.
The people at the London Foundling Hospital listened, and they took her back and sent a reprimand to the Brownrigs, which was pretty much all the legal option that they had in terms of controlling the Brownrigs' use of their apprentices.
But Elizabeth is a pillar of respectability. Few believe Mary.
They are a respectable family of tradespeople in this parish, and so their word, or their lack of word, is just accepted.
Incredibly, the church sends Elizabeth another orphan to care for. 14-year-old Mary Clifford.
There was something about Mary Clifford that set Mrs. Brownrig off. Her beatings were kind of unceasing. Everything she did was scrutinized.
This is not uncommon for women that abuse children, including mothers. They may have a slew of potential victims around them, but they focus on one to destroy.
Clifford's pitiful life is about to get a lot worse.
You can almost not imagine the range of tortures and torturous treatment to which she was subjected.
'60s, London, England. Respected middle-class midwife Elizabeth Brownrig is hiding a dark side. She's torturing her young female servants.
Come on, son, eat up.
And so are her husband and son.
Although all of Elizabeth's charges were subjected to unimaginable abuse, she focused all her anger and sadism on one, Mary Clifford.
You're so much better than us, don't you? Yes, you do. You think that because of your pretty little looks, she's so much better than us. Well, nothing.
Inflicting pain excites Elizabeth.
With the bones you are made of!
She's turned on by the power and suffering.
Sexual sadism is a condition in which an individual becomes aroused at the infliction of pain, emotional, physical, or sexual, on a helpless victim.
Elizabeth's husband, John, and her son, James, willingly join in.
It's not what they do to the victim, it's the response that turns them on.
For over a year, 14-year-old Mary is brutally tortured.
Whenever a body is suspended by its arms or hands, there's the obvious discomfort of the restraints.
Lost for words.
But most importantly, their oxygen saturation is going to go down because they're unable to breathe appropriately.
Mary's abandoned in the cellar with the pigs. Her body is covered in open, rotting wounds.
It would be very likely that an individual who'd been repetitively beaten, not fed well, and restrained could have gotten an infection to one of their wounds. We end up with infections of the lungs, pneumonia, infections of the brain, meningitis or encephalitis, and death follows very shortly thereafter.
A local baker spots Mary. She's barely clinging to life.
He raised the alarm.
Mrs. Brownrig!
Parish officers come to the house, and they demand that the Brownrigs present Mary Clifford.
Confronted by church authorities, the Brownrigs play dumb.
She was naked and badly beaten.
Perhaps you saw our servant Mary Mitchell. She feeds the pigs.
Mr. Brownrig at first denies that she's there. Then he eventually brings out Mary Mitchell, and he says, here's the girl you're looking for.
Mary? Mary, are you all right, my love? This is not Mary Clifford. The girl I told you about is in even worse condition.
The eagle-eyed baker sees right through their lie.
Mrs. Brownrig, where is Mary Clifford?
I said we don't have anyone of that name here.
Don't lie to me, Mrs. Brownrig. Where is Mary Clifford?
I can't pull her out of thin air. She's not here.
Brownrig, get out of my way.
I did not invite you into our house.
Finally, after a search of the whole house, they find her in the basement. She's very, very weak. She can't speak, but she's still alive, and she's removed to the parish poorhouse.
But the rescue comes too late. 4 days later, 14-year-old Mary Clifford dies from her horrific injuries. Police arrest Elizabeth and John Brownrig and their son, James. All three are charged with murder.
She insisted that the problem was not her, the problem was bad servants. These servants were so bad and so disrespectful and so lazy that only physical punishment could get them to do their work.
The thinking of the day determines who is found guilty.
Watching over servants is a woman's responsibility, and she alone is convicted.
The two males walk away, scot-free. On September 13th, 1767, Elizabeth Brownrig is sentenced to death by public hanging.
Some of the people gathered to watch Elizabeth be executed shouted at her that they hoped her soul would burn in hell. I think we can count on that.
Elizabeth Brownrig, once admired for her generosity, is now remembered for monstrous behavior. The government makes an example of her by placing her remains on public display.
Her skeleton was quite a tourist attraction for many years. People were very drawn to this spectacle of this woman who took such pleasure in the abuse of children who'd been placed with her to care for.
She was the quintessential evil woman, and Elizabeth Brownrig's memory was seared into the working and laboring classes in London for well over 100 years.
When a woman is bent on revenge,
whatever Carrie Dalton wants, Carrie Dalton goes and gets.
Sold my things. Okay.
And out of control,
By Carrie's own admission, she was mad.
It pays to get out of her way.
Who creates that kind of stuff in their mind?
All right, we'll use battery acid then.
That sounds to me like a truly evil person.
There are societies within societies. Subcultures where those on the edge can find a friend. Perhaps even security.
I don't know what to do. I have nowhere to stay.
In 1988, in Live Oak Springs, California, 23-year-old Irene May finds her place after her husband is jailed.
Irene Melanie May, she had 3 kids. They had been removed from her because she was declared an unfit parent.
You can stay at my place. Oh my God, but it's only until Rob gets back. Yeah.
Irene uses methamphetamines, but that doesn't worry her new housemate, 28-year-old Carrie Dalton.
Oh my God.
She's been married 2 times, I believe, has 5 children from 3 men, all of them, fortunately, being raised by someone other than Carrie.
Carrie uses meth too. The pair is on a one-way trip to oblivion.
Many researchers and clinicians believe this drug alone has the capability to open the floodgates of hell.
Her reputation was very hard-nosed, who was willing to do anything to get her way. She had no regard for other people.
What's taking them so long? They said they'd only be an hour.
If someone was unfamiliar with Carrie Dalton and they were asked me about her, I would say, get away from her, get as far away from her as possible, and never see her ever again. She will bring you down one way or another.
Is that another one of my beers? Christ, you're a slippery bitch. All you do is come around here and take my stuff. Sorry, Carrie, I offered it to her. But I was gonna get you some more later. Oh, you're always gonna buy some more later, aren't you? You're all a bunch of freaking freeloaders.
I'll go get some more beer.
I don't want any more beer. I want more freaking drugs.
Go, babe.
How took you so long? Move.
Carrie's boyfriend, Mark Tompkins, sticks by her,
Hurry up.
even when Carrie is arrested and jailed for drug possession. In Carrie's absence, Irene continues her downward spiral, spending all her money on drugs. She starts selling the household possessions for a fix.
How much? $10.
She had a yard sale and sold a lot of stuff that he had, and apparently some of Carrie's jewelry.
You gotta be joking. I'll give you 5.
Yeah, sure.
It's a short-term win.
Where's my stuff?
When Carrie is released, she realizes things are missing.
Where are my things? Where? Goddamn things! Joanne! Where are my goddamn things? Can you hear me, Joanne? Where are my goddamn things? Where are they? Irene sold them. She what?
Irene has unwittingly unleashed a monster.
I'm serious. I am gonna kill the bitch. She's gonna wish she had never been born.
She took great offense that this would have occurred, and apparently carried that grudge, onward, and used it as a motive to do what she did.
It makes them suffer really bad, and it takes hours and hours.
Carrie and her boyfriend, Mark, fueled by methamphetamine rage, start planning revenge.
All right, we'll use battery acid then. But if it doesn't
Things started to escalate, and once they had passed a certain point, you can't go back.
Oh, you're gonna try and hit me with one of those, are you now?
Most people would not think of killing someone because they thought they stole some jewelry. For Carrie, it became an all-consuming goal.
June 26, 1988, in Live Oak Springs, California.
Do I really miss them?
A fragile alliance between two drug users is about to snap.
Hey, Irene. Give me a cigarette.
Has moved in with a methamphetamine monster
Put it in my mouth.
who now wants her out for good.
You heard me.
Carrie Dalton starts intimidating Irene.
Carrie became very angry at her friend Irene, thinking that Irene had pawned some of Carrie's jewelry and possibly stolen some of her drugs. That was all it took.
Now get me another beer.
I'll get it.
No! I want Irene to get it.
Drugs have cost Irene dearly, her husband, her children. But now they may cost her her life.
Irene had indicated to Joanne on the sly that she was scared to death and that she said, "These people are going to kill me." I think she knew it was coming.
Sit down. What? I don't understand. Sit down.
We'll pick up some more gear on the way back.
Carrie is high on methamphetamines. She's immune to human empathy and is building a rage that must be satisfied.
You sold my things, didn't you? No, I didn't. And you ratted me out to the cops, didn't you? No, Carrie, promise. Carrie, I promise. I didn't. It wasn't me. Big mistake lying to me. You sold my things.
Carrie is a sadist. She likes hurting people.
Big mistake, you lying bitch! Now that's gonna teach you to tell me the truth!
It wasn't enough for Carrie to simply kill Irene because she was angry with her. She wanted to punish her, and that's where the torture came in.
Now you're gonna tell me the truth, aren't you?
Carrie wants to experiment with company. She invites over her boyfriend, Mark, and friend, Cheryl Baker. They find a frightening scene.
There was an electrical extension cord that had been cut off and then plugged in.
When somebody is, touched with electrical wires, they're going to suffer that shock and that burn. It's going to be extraordinarily painful.
Irene May was truly tortured. She was beaten over the head with a frying pan so hard that the bottom broke out of the frying pan.
Cheryl finds it hard to say no.
Cheryl Baker said her feeling was that if she didn't get involved with that, she would be the second victim.
Please. When an individual is struck multiple times, the bones are pushed in, they're crushed, they're broken. Those types of injuries cause deep hemorrhage, deep bleeding.
I want this bitch die!
The membranes that line the bones contain all the nerves. So if you have an impact to your kneecaps and fracture that patella, you're going to have an extraordinary amount of pain, to say nothing of the bleeding that would ensue.
Have it go, Cheryl!
Bashed with a hammer, electrocuted, and beaten. Irene May is still not dead.
I don't even want to think about what was going through Irene May's mind when this was going on. It had to be extremely painful and extremely prolonged.
Shot anyone? Yeah. I think Cheryl should have the honors.
Carrie has one more sadistic twist.
Come on, we can do this. Do it.
Carrie apparently had gone out to the car, extracted battery acid. Who creates that kind of stuff in their mind? That sounds to me like a truly evil person.
The torture continues for hours until boyfriend Mark finishes it.
And he came in and wrapped it up with the knife and the stomping on the neck to put her out of her misery.
The drug-fueled nightmare is over.
The way Irene was killed, poisoned, beaten, tortured before she died, is not uncommon of crimes committed by people high on methamphetamine. They become unspeakably violent.
For the next 3 years, the murder remains a secret within the tight drug circle until one of them cracks with guilt.
Cheryl Baker then provided a great deal of the information about who was killed, why she was killed, and how she was killed, and what happened to the body.
Cheryl Baker gives up Carrie and her boyfriend. In return, she pleads guilty to second-degree murder and receives 15 years to life. Mark Tompkins is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to 25 years to life. Carrie Dalton is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death on May 23rd, 1995.
She is pure evil. She is bad to the core and has been for a long, long time.
Carrie is on death row in the Central California Women's Facility.
She is almost where she needs to be. She needs to be in the death chamber in prison. It's time for her to be punished for what she did. And in my mind, the only punishment for her is the ultimate punishment.
Did drugs turn Carrie Dalton into a murderer? Or did they simply unlock her true nature?
Carrie was probably on her way to becoming a deadly woman by the time she was a teenager, but her heavy use of methamphetamine sealed her fate.
When children are not loved,
Neighbors reported hearing the children scream,
but resented,
she was a sadistic monster.
young lives can be in danger.
The overwhelming surge of community feeling that she was a monster.
Adelaide, Australia. In the 1890s, a woman is expected to stand by her man, no matter what. But not Martha Randelle. She's having an affair with her neighbor.
Arthur Randelle was having a long and lusty and voluptuous affair with Tom Morris.
Tom has a family of his own, but can't resist Martha.
There must have been something that he saw in her because everyone else hated her.
How could you do this this to me, to the children.
The clandestine affair goes on for a decade before Tom's wife finds out.
It's going to affect them. The whole
She
town
demands
is talking.
drastic action.
We need to get away from here, away from that woman.
Mrs. Morris demanded that they move away from this Scarlet Woman. So they moved from Adelaide to probably the most remote place that they could find anywhere in Australia, and that was to Perth.
Will that make you happy?
Yes.
Tom takes his family 1,700 miles across the country to Perth, Australia's Wild West. It's a boom frontier town.
Western Australia was just on the boil in those days because the gold mines at Coolgardie and Kalgoorlie had been discovered.
I got the job.
There's plenty of work for carpenters like Tom. With Martha out of his life, Tom devotes himself to his family.
What do we got for dessert, eh?
And they were as happy as the Morris family could be.
But within a year, his past comes back to haunt him.
Hi, Thomas.
Martha Randelle abandoned her husband and 2 children in Adelaide, moved to Perth. Soon they were having an affair.
Back with his old temptress, Tom decides once and for all to leave his wife.
All right, kids, now...
But he keeps their children.
Martha's going to tell you something, all right? So you listen to Martha.
From now on, you're all to call me Mother.
What?
Martha takes over the marital bed and the children.
What will we call our real mother?
She's gone.
She's gone.
She won't be coming back. I'm your mother now.
From that day on was the beginning of the end for the Morris children. They incurred her vile, evil wrath.
Now go to your room.
Get!
Martha Randelle was the epitome of the evil stepmother. She walked right off the pages of a Grimm's fairy tale.
Martha doesn't tolerate any lip.
I told you to hang the washing up, didn't I? Didn't I?
Stop hurting her. We don't have to do what you tell us. You're not our real mother.
As 7-year-old Annie soon discovers.
Emma! Talk back to me, okay?
Children were whipped and they were bashed and they were beaten by this terrible woman. And within virtually no time at all, they were malnourished, they were sickly, they were pale, and suffered continually from coughs and sore throats.
The children are even more vulnerable when they become sick.
The doctor suggested that every night that the new stepmother paint the back of Annie's throat with this medication.
Please don't brush my throat. It hurts.
In these times, treating a sore throat with a brush is common.
In order for Martha to have accomplished what she did, those children must have been tied down.
But it's what the doctor ordered, Annie. Open your mouth. Open your mouth!
She isn't applying medicine, but acid.
Wider! I said wider.
Neighbors reported hearing the children scream. I imagine that they did. It would have been horribly painful.
Open it.
Martha gets pleasure from the children's pain, and it's only the beginning.
Martha tortured these children because it made her feel good.
Feel better?
who inflict horrible pain on helpless children.
Martha Randelle leaves her family and chases her lover, Tom, 1,700 miles across Australia to Perth. The couple move in together, and Martha becomes mom to Tom's children. But she's a cruel stepmother. July 1907. When little Annie gets a sore throat, diphtheria is blamed. It is a common illness of the time. But Annie doesn't have an illness. Martha's poisoning her with acid.
One sip of hydrochloric acid is going to almost immediately cause an individual to start spitting out blood, to have these horrible, painful blisters start in their mouth. You're going to lose your normal blood pressure, become hypotensive. You're going to end up with confusion, headache. You're going to be disoriented. And very rapidly, this is going to cause death, usually from low blood pressure.
Within weeks of Annie's death, her sister Olive is gravely ill. But no one suspects a thing.
I'm sorry, Mr. Morris. There's nothing much else that can be done. She seems to have diphtheria.
And again, the doctor came and he said that there's a bad bout of diphtheria going around. There's only one thing to do, and that's get to it, get to the source of the diphtheria and paint the back of her throat with this medication.
Open up your mouth.
Martha is given a green light to carry on her torture.
Open up your mouth.
Open up your mouth.
This level of sadistic behavior is not something that happens overnight. Martha had been working up to this probably since her early adolescence. You don't wake up one day in your 40s and decide to torture children while you're icing cupcakes.
Did that hurt?
She was hideous. She was vile.
Why would a woman do this to a child? For Martha, it's to achieve sadistic sexual pleasure.
Neighbors reported seeing Martha rock back and forth in her chair while her stepchildren were writhing in agony, screaming, and dying. For some women, rocking is sexually gratifying. It's known as infantile masturbation. There are no hands involved. It's all up here.
Martha breaks up a family to be with her lover. Now she's increasing her pleasure by inflicting pain. When one child dies, she moves on to the next.
This time, she didn't call the doctor. Just got out the good old reliable throat painting medicine and the brush, and away she went.
Open up your mouth.
Arthur is her third victim in just over a year.
Open your mouth! Doesn't hurt, does it?
Caused them to be very sick. Then she made them sicker until they died, and she watched in pleasure as they died.
Martha hasn't finished yet. Fourteen-year-old George develops a familiar cough.
We're gonna nip it in the bud. Open your mouth, George.
He knows better than to obey his stepmother's orders.
Back here right now, George!
He'd heard all of the noises coming out of those bedrooms, and he'd seen her gloating over one of his sisters as she died.
George runs away from Martha and goes in search of his biological mother. finds her and recounts the horror, his mother contacts police.
Every time that she gave them the medicine, they only got sicker. She laughed at their pain. She laughed at their pain. She got pleasure from it.
Martha Randelle's evil secret is finally exposed.
If Martha's stepson hadn't run away because he was fearful that she was turning towards him, she would have gone on to kill a lot more kids.
There's no other real motive that you can understand for this woman killing these children, apart from her being an extremely evil person.
Her arrest and trial grip the community.
There was huge amounts of ill feeling towards Martha Randelle. I mean, the crimes were so horrendous that the public were basically, baying for vengeance.
Martha Randelle is found guilty of the murder of Arthur Morris. She is sentenced to death.
The judge concluded that she was a sadistic monster who achieved sexual pleasure out of watching the children die in agony.
October 6, 1909. Just 20 days after her conviction, Martha Randelle is hanged at Fremantle Prison. But her legacy lived on.
Her case became a part of folklore. She became the boogie woman for misbehaving children. If you don't behave yourselves, then you'll have your throat painted.
The crimes that she committed against children were absolutely unbelievable. To think that another human being could do this.
Martha was a cold-hearted, sadistic killer of the worst order. I'm glad she's gone.
They were heartless souls who tortured and killed the vulnerable. Elizabeth Brownrig's home was a house of horrors. Carrie Dalton tormented and murdered over a few trinkets. And Martha Randelle was turned on by her stepchildren's agony. These deadly women were sadists who got their pleasure from pain.